Not a great week for Tony Abbott, I'm sorry to report. Our loyal and dedicated leader of Her Majesty's opposition seemed somewhat down in the dumps by the end of it, and it's hardly surprising. It got off to a bad start with the ACT election, which, despite the best efforts of the News Limited journalists, could hardly be portrayed as a triumph for the Liberals, no matter what they said. In practice, Labor actually got a 1.5% swing towards it, and picked up an extra seat in the process. The Liberals got a bigger swing and picked up 2 seats, but it still only put them on equal terms with Labor, on both terms of both seats and votes. And the situation would appear to be that Labor is set to reform government with the aid of the single remaining Green. So, if that's a triumph for the Liberals, Tony Abbott doesn't want too many more of them. And things only got worse with his snide crack about Julia Gillard's childlessness, picked up by every news organisation in the country. Opinion was varied against whether it was just nasty and malicious or whether it was just stupid and ignorant. But either way, it's not a good look. But of course the real body blow came with the Nielsen poll, which showed that Julia Gillard's seminal speech on misogyny, in spite again of what the Australian media tried to make of it, had been greeted with some enthusiasm by the voters. Gillard's popularity rating lurched skywards like a helium balloon, and Tony Abbott sunk like an old brick. Now it's clear that Julia Gillard is quite clearly the preferred Prime Minister, and that wouldn't matter in itself except that the Labor Party's general vote keeps creeping remorselessly upwards. So far so that last week one minor poll actually had Labor ahead on the 2-party preferred. Now it's not as good as that, obviously, and there's no way that Julia Gillard will go into next year as an election favourite. But she will go in as a competitor, a tried and true competitor, and with every likelihood that Kevin Rudd is now firmly and permanently out of the race. So she can be as single-minded on this one as she appears to have wanted to be for the last 2 years. Tony Abbott, meanwhile, well, it's too early to say the clock's ticking, but Abbott is leader of the Liberal Party for one reason and one reason only, to get them back into government. And if it starts looking as if perchance he might not, all the reasons they dislike, distrust and fear him will come back into the open. And in that case, well, we mightn't be stuck with Malcolm Turnbull, but we certainly won't be stuck with Tony Abbott either. Joe Hockey, has your time come? I'm Mungo MacCallum.